Hello everyone. In this part, we'll be discussing the extract based questions of the chapter Indigo. So, the first extract is Rajendra Prasad was out of town, and it ends with how did they know that he was not an untouchable? So, the first question is how would some drops from Gandhi's bucket pollute the entire well? So, this statement is basically from the phrase when the writer is mentioning the incident where Shukla and Gandhi reached Rajendra Prasad's residence, and both Shukla and Gandhi, they are not allowed to draw water from the well because obviously they are treated as untouchables. They are deemed to be untouchables. Rajendra Prasad is himself a peasant, so he was regarded an untouchable at that time. But Gandhi, because of his simple appearance, he was also treated as an untouchable because of his simple appearance. So this remark is sarcastic. This is a sarcastic remark made by the writer that until and unless few drops of water from Gandhi's bucket would not fall into the well, how would the servants know that he was not an untouchable? This is a sarcastic remark made on the plight of our society, how hollow we are and how hollow this caste system is that we are following. Till now, this is deep rooted in our minds. Second question is, why was Shukla known to pester Rajendra Prasad? So pester is basically, to constantly call and constantly, जैसे इसे बोलते पीछे पड़ जाना. राजेंद्र शुक्ला जो थे वो राजेंद्र प्रसाद के पीछे पीछे क्यों लगे रहते थे एक काम के लिए. So that work was to solve the problems faced by peasants in Champaran. So that ancient agreement that they were in to grow indigo. So that is to free these peasants from that agreement. So that is why Shukla was always pestering Rajendra Prasad. Who was Rajendra Prasad? Now, Rajendra Prasad was a very famous personality, and who was later the first president of India. So he was a very famous personality, and he was a lawyer. So that is why Shukla was always pestering him to get his work done. But he was always shunned away because obviously he was a peasant and nobody took him seriously. Why was Gandhi treated as any other peasant despite his stature? So, despite his stature, despite all the work that he had done for the country, he was the main figure in the nationalist struggle. So, he was treated as any other peasant because in that village, people weren't aware of his identity because Gandhi was so low profile, so humble that is why the servants in Rajendra Prasad's house they treated them as any other peasant, just like Shukla. So the next extract starts with Kriplani was waiting at the station with a large body of students, and it ends with the Indians were afraid to show sympathy for the advocates of home rule. So the first question is, what was an extraordinary thing in those days? So in this specific paragraph, the extraordinary thing is that the people, especially the villagers, the village people of India, they didn't show much sympathy to those who were supporting the concept of home rule. Home rule is basically the rule that is done by our own government, the government that is elected by the citizens. So all the people, Gandhi, Nehru, and later Rajendra Prasad, all of these national activists, they were advocates of home rule. So it was an extraordinary thing in those days to show sympathy to advocates of home rule. So, and it was also an extraordinary thing for a government teacher like Kriplani to make an activist like Gandhi stay at his house. So why did Gandhi spend 2 days at Kriplani? So this was his plan when after leaving Rajendra Prasad's residence, he went to Kriplani's house. So this was all a part of his plan. He wanted to gather more and more information about the plight of the peasants in Champaran villages. What did Gandhi meant when he said a man like me? So when Gandhi said that, it was not easy for giving shelter to a man like me. He meant that a man like him, who was in the forefront of the national struggle, it was not easy for people to support him, because at that time British government was so strong. Every in every sphere, everywhere British government was suppressing Indians. So to show sympathy to people who were against this suppression was not easy. So supporting men like him, men like Gandhi, basically means supporting the concept of home rule. So the next question is, why were villagers afraid to show sympathy to supporters of home rule? So this was obviously, as we discussed earlier, the villagers were afraid because they might be beaten up by the authorities, they might be jailed by the authorities, and as they didn't have basic necessities, and they were the sole bread earners of their homes, so they couldn't afford that. So that is why they were afraid of supporting the advocates of home rule. They were afraid of supporting the advocates of home rule. So the next extract starts with, Rajendra Prasad has recorded the upshot of their consultations, and it ends with, it would be a shameful desertion. So what would be a shameful desertion? In this specific paragraph, the shameful desertion would be when the lawyers of the Champaran district, they would leave Gandhi on his own, and they would not consult him further. Even Gandhi was ready to go to jail for some strangers, but the lawyers would go home because they couldn't do anything, and they couldn't stand up against the British government. This would be a shameful desertion, that a stranger is doing so much for their own district, and they being the neighbors, and they being the people with knowledge of law, this would be a shameful desertion for them to go home without helping Gandhi. Question 2. Why was Gandhi ready to go to jail? So Gandhi was ready to go to jail just because he wanted to help these peasants. He wanted to help them, he wanted to take them out of their worst conditions, and the only thing that he wanted for them was freedom from fear. That is why he was even ready to go to jail if the peasants were free from their fear, free from the fear of the British authorities. This shows us his selflessness. The principle of selflessness was what kept him going on fighting for this country. Why did this feeling of empathy arise in the lawyers? Obviously, when the lawyers saw Gandhi ready to go to jail for the peasants and for them, this arose a feeling of empathy in them. They decided that it would be shameful if they go home and Gandhi goes to jail for their own people. So this gesture by Gandhi, him saying that I'll be ready to go to jail for the peasants, this arose a feeling of empathy in the lawyers. So what do you mean by recorded their upshots? So this basically means that Rajendra Prasad recalled all the consultations that the lawyers were having between themselves. He basically recorded, or he basically recalled all the conversations that the lawyers were having after Gandhiji mentioned that if you leave me here ready to go to jail, wouldn't it be injustice to the peasants? All this discussion, it was recalled by Rajendra Prasad. Next extract starts with, he said, you think that in this unequal fight it would be helpful, and it ends with, because he happens to be an Englishman. So the first question is, why was the fight deemed to be unequal? So this fight, the fight here being talked is basically the fight between Britishers and the peasants. So this fight was deemed to be unequal, obviously because of this one solid reason, that the Britishers, having so much of power, having all the laws in their hands, and they molded all the things in their favor, having this power, and on the other side their opponents were the peasants, who weren't even allowed to work on their own terms and conditions on their own lands. So obviously this fight was unequal. This fight that the peasants were fighting, it was unequal. Why was Gandhi reluctant to take help from Andrews? Gandhi was basically teaching a lesson of self-reliance to the peasants and all the people and all the other people engaged in this incident of Champaran. वो उन्हें बताना चाहते थे कि अगर क्या हुआ कि अगर एंड्रयूज इंग्लिश हैं, obviously if they took help from an Englishman it would do wonders for them, but he wanted to teach them a lesson कि अगर तुम आत्मनिर्भर नहीं बनोगे तो तुम ये लड़ाई नहीं जीत पाओगे. So this is why he was reluctant, this is why he was against taking help from the Englishman C.F. Andrews. Why would Andrews be sought as a prop? So sought as a prop means ऐसा होता है कि जब भी हम we are in a condition where we are not able to do something on our own, so usually we take help from someone. So जब हम उससे help लेते हैं, किसी influential body से मदद लेते हैं, तो वो influential body हमारे लिए prop बन जाती है हमारी problem में. So in the same way, Andrew would also be acting as a prop if he would help the peasants in this fight. हम एक डांस परफॉर्मेंस में प्रॉप यूज करते हैं, यू नो, जस्ट लाइक अ हुला हूप और अ पॉम पॉम. सो दिस Andrews would also become a center of attraction for the British authorities. They would ultimately give in this fight if Andrews came in the favor of peasants and Gandhiji. What ideal was being taught by Gandhi? As we discussed earlier, Gandhi was teaching the ideal of self-reliance, teaching a lesson in self-reliance to peasants and all the people engaged in this fight. That's all.